What if the single behavior that flips a woman's attraction from polite interest to undeniable pull isn't a line, a look, or a trick, but a way you carry yourself in every micro moment? Imagine walking into any room and feeling that click, that subtle shift where she starts tracking you without even realizing it. Not because you performed, because you broadcast something rarer than good looks or money, grounded intent. If you've ever felt that you were one adjustment away from being the man women lean toward instead of away from, this is that adjustment. Stay with me, because once you lock this in, you won't chase, you won't beg, and you won't play clown to keep someone's attention. You will lead, with calm, with clarity, and with an edge that's impossible to ignore. The behavior that no woman can resist is grounded. Warm assertiveness backed by principled boundaries. It's not aggression. It's not passivity. It's the masculine balance point. You convey desire without neediness, standards without rigidity, playfulness without disrespect, and leadership without control. In social psychology, this sits at the intersection of confidence signals and prosocial cues, dominance tempered by agreeableness, high status without arrogance, desire without desperation. Robert Cialdini would call part of it authority plus liking. David Buss would connect it to cues of resourcefulness and reliability. John Gottman would recognize it as self-regulation and attunement. Daniel Goleman would label it emotional intelligence in motion. And Stoic philosophy would simply call it command of the only thing you truly own, yourself. When you embody this, attraction becomes less about what you say and more about what you allow yourself not to say. Less about what you do and more about what you refuse to do. Women feel safe, seen, and slightly challenged. That specific mix is magnetic. You're going to build this behavior from the inside out and the outside in at the same time. Inside out means your mindset, your mission, and your emotional regulation. Outside in means posture, voice, timing, eye contact, words, logistics, and follow-through. You need both. If you only do the outside, you look like a parody. If you only do the inside, no one hears you. Let's wire the whole system so you naturally act like the man who doesn't ask for permission to be himself. Start with the core philosophy. A woman's attraction responds to 3 inputs you control: the quality of your presence, the clarity of your intent, and the consistency of your boundaries. Presence is your ability to be here, unscattered. Intent is your ability to reveal desire cleanly. Boundaries are your ability to say yes and no without apology. Presence calms her nervous system. Intent excites it. Boundaries respect it. When these 3 align, you create an energetic frame that says, I know where I'm going, I like you, and I won't lose myself to have you. That frame is the opposite of neediness and the opposite of coldness. It's that centered heat she keeps thinking about after the conversation ends. Presence first. Attention is the new status signal. In a world of fractured focus, a man who can give undivided attention immediately reads as higher value. That's not philosophy, that's mammalian wiring. Your eyes hold just a fraction longer. Your face relaxes. Your shoulders unlock and drop. Your breath slows your speech by half a beat. You're not scanning the room, you're leading the moment you're in. Practically, this means you cut filler movements, you cut defensive laughter, and you cut compulsive explaining. If she asks a question, you answer it simply. If there's silence, you let it sit and enjoy it. Silence is an amplifier of status when you're comfortable in it. Carl Jung argued that what we resist persists. If you resist silence because you're afraid of being judged, you'll fill it with noise that lowers your perceived value. If you accept it, you radiate comfort. Comfort radiates competence. Competence radiates safety. Safety plus desire is the foundation of attraction. Intent second. Most men hide it, sprinkle it, or leak it. Attraction collapses under unclear intent because uncertainty without leadership equals anxiety. State your interest cleanly and early, not as a confession, but as a direction. You do it as a compliment that reveals taste and standards. You say, I like your energy. I want to take you for coffee Tuesday at 7 near the park. This is not a question mark disguised as a sentence, it's a plan. You do not pitch yourself, justify yourself, or pre-apologize for wanting what you want. Studies in behavioral economics show that people default to the clearest path with the lowest friction. Clear invitation equals lower friction. Add a safety signal. We'll keep it short. I have an early morning. and you remove risk and increase compliance ethically. That's leadership without pressure. Boundaries third. Neediness is not wanting. It's failing to protect your standards when you want. Boundaries communicate that you choose, you do not chase. They make your yes meaningful and your no respected. Attachment theory calls this secure functioning. In practice, a boundary is a rule for yourself stated as a preference for the interaction. If she's disrespectful, you don't teach a seminar. You reset the frame or you leave. If she tests you with mild sarcasm, you smile. You escalate playfully, and you do not collapse. If she cancels twice last minute, you disengage with, "I like momentum. Let's reconnect when your schedule clears." Without anger, without commentary. Your lack of reactivity is the loudest signal of internal abundance. And yes, women test. Not because they are malicious, but because reliability matters. You don't pass tests by pointing out the test. You pass by remaining consistent. Now let's turn this philosophy into behaviors that live in your body. Think voice, eyes, posture, and timing. Lower your vocal tone slightly by allowing pauses. A slower cadence telegraphs certainty. Fast speech communicates you're asking for emotional permission. You're not. You already have it because you gave it to yourself. Eye contact is high when you're listening and light when you're speaking. That inversion keeps tension alive. Think 70% eye contact while she speaks, 50 when you do. That balance creates rhythm. Posture is relaxed front line. Chest open, chin neutral, weight evenly distributed. You do not lean in to chase attention. You let attention come to you. On timing, you lead with statements, not requests, and you move forward or out with clean transitions. No lingering, no hovering, no trailing off. If you exit, you do it decisively. "I have to run, but I want to see you. Tuesday, 7, espresso bar on 9th. Text me if that changes." Then you go. You don't stall for approval. You don't explain your schedule. You leave her with clarity and a small space to move toward. Calibrated play is your social lubricant. Pure seriousness kills attraction. Pure jokes kill respect. Blend them. You tease behavior, not identity. If she dramatizes a minor inconvenience, you smirk and say, "Dramatic, noted. I'm filing that under adorable chaos." If she leans into competence, you appreciate it specifically, not generically. Your attention to detail is attractive. "I like how you organize a conversation." Specific compliments signal discernment. Discernment is status. Again, Cialdini's liking principle isn't about flattery. It's about authentic, targeted appreciation that creates rapport. With playful tension, you never put her down. You raise the bar and invite her over it. Desire disclosure is essential. If you never name your wants, you get framed as a friend. If you overname them, you get framed as thirsty. The middle path is simple. You say what you want in a way that protects both of you. "I like where this is going. I'm interested in you, and I want to explore this without rushing anything." What you're doing is matching pacing with leadership, two levers that must be pulled together. Neuroscience of approach avoidance confirms that people lean into experiences that feel both exciting and safe. Your sentence makes the excitement explicit and the safety explicit. That combination is irresistible. Texting is logistics, not life. Your phone is a bridge to an in-person frame, not a stage for performance. Keep it light, clear, and bounded by your day. The more you use messaging to manage your anxiety, the more you erode your attraction. Use the 3-message rule: spark, propose, confirm. Spark with a specific reference to an earlier moment or a playful observation. Propose a concrete plan with time and place. Confirm briefly and step off. If she tries to convert texting into the relationship, you lead it back to reality, or you disengage. The man who owns his time owns the frame, and the man who owns the frame owns the outcome. On the date, you lead with structure and softness. Structure means you chose the venue for a reason. Lighting, noise, seating, staff, you know where to stand, where to sit, how to move. Softness means you're present and you let the moment breathe. Your energy oscillates between steady attention and playful mischief. You keep the conversational spotlight on shared reality and lived preferences, not interviews. You ask layered questions that reveal taste and values. When you plan a weekend, do you default to movement or quiet? What detail do you notice that most people miss? What can't you unsee once you see it? These questions reveal compatibility and give you material to tease and praise. You also talk with your hands off the table occasionally to keep tension in your body language. You hold eye contact past the point where most people look away, then break it with a small smile. You orchestrate micro-contrasts, joking then sincere, relaxed then slightly intense, direct then curious. Contrast is dopamine. Dopamine is attention. When it comes to escalation, you practice the consent ladder. You read green lights, proximity, sustained eye contact, shoulder orientation toward you, mirroring, touch initiation. You confirm with a soft verbal check-in when appropriate. I want to kiss you. Is that okay? Or you offer your hand to move to a new spot and notice whether she takes it with ease. If there's hesitation, you slow down without making it weird, and you shift back to presence and play. Safety first always. The most attractive men are precise with their desire and precise with their restraint. That paradox, a man who clearly wants and clearly controls himself, is profoundly compelling. Remember the Stoic principle. Control the controllable, accept the uncontrollable, and distinguish the two quickly. You control your boundaries, your words, your choices, and your state. You don't control her past, her moods, or her pace. If she's anxious, you don't fix her. You stabilize the interaction by stabilizing yourself. If she's ambiguous, you clarify the next step, and if ambiguity persists, you step back. Epictetus would tell you that freedom begins the moment you stop attaching your worth to external outcomes. Women feel that freedom as spaciousness. Spaciousness is not distance, it's oxygen. Without oxygen, desire suffocates. A quick audit you can apply right now. Where am I leaking value? You leak value when you apologize for your wants. You leak value when you try to perform your worth rather than live it. You leak value when you over-explain. You leak value when you respond instantly to every message as if you have nothing else happening. You leak value when you tolerate disrespect to avoid conflict. Conflict avoided becomes attraction destroyed. Your fix is a simple triad. Shorten, slow, and sharpen. Shorten your sentences. Slow your delivery. Sharpen your boundaries. Every one of those changes signals self-respect. Let's get practical with scripts you can actually use while keeping them yours. When you invite, you say, I like your energy. Let's do coffee Tuesday at 7, Bar Roma. If that doesn't work, propose another time. When you reframe a mild test, you say, cute, I appreciate your standards. Now bring that to the table and we'll get along. When you set a boundary, I'm not into last-minute plans. Let's lock something that works for both of us. When you calibrate desire, I find you really attractive, and I want to take this at a pace that feels good. When you end a night cleanly, I had a good time. I'm heading out now. Text me when you're home safe. When you remove yourself, this isn't the vibe I'm looking for, no hard feelings, and you leave, calmly, kindly, firmly. The content is simple. The delivery is everything. Body language is your silent amplifier. Remove protective barriers, crossed arms, hunched shoulders, phone shield in front of your chest. Angle your torso slightly and keep your feet planted and open. Slow your gestures. Your hands punctuate points, they don't flail. Your smile is small and real, not plastered. When you listen, you still your body. When you speak, you animate with purpose. You reduce fidgeting to almost zero. Women are neurologically tuned to microsignals. Congruence is your currency. If your words say confident but your body says nervous agreement, your body wins and attraction loses. You can train congruence. You do it by deciding what you believe about yourself before the interaction. Belt-level rule. Decide what's true about you, then communicate from it. For example, I am a selective man with a meaningful life. I invite, I don't chase. I lead, I don't control. I enjoy, I don't perform. Now speak from there. High-value men understand risk and rarity. Scarcity psychology is real. What is rare is valued. Your time is rare because your life is full. Your attention is rare because you manage your mind. Your yes is rare because you protect it with no. That's not a tactic, it's a lifestyle. Fill your life with training, creative work, mission, real friendships, and self-care. Not as a performance, but as a priority. Attraction grows in the greenhouse of a meaningful life. A partner's feminine energy wants to join a rhythm that already exists, not invent one for you. That's why mission is more attractive than bragging rights about hustle. When your calendar reflects purpose, your texts reflect purpose. They get shorter, cleaner, warmer. You stop pouring your loneliness into women's phones and expecting them to rescue you. Calibration matters across cultures and personalities. Extroverted women often enjoy more overt play. Introverted women prefer slower burn. Anxiously attached, women may flood you with attention early. You match warmth and maintain pace. Avoidant women will blow hot cold. You don't chase the cold. You lead invitations and track consistency over intensity. Jung's archetypes can help you feel the energy mix. At times the warrior, decisive. At times the lover, attuned. At times the king, setting standards. At times the magician, playful and creative. The behavior that no woman can resist is not one mask, it's the integration. It's the man who can shift gears without losing himself. Let's talk about tests, because you will be tested. A teasing challenge, a delayed reply, a last-minute change, a moment of attitude. The untrained man personalizes and spirals. The grounded man normalizes and resets. The formula is simple. Acknowledge, reframe, direct. If she's sarcastic, noted. Keep that energy. Now tell me your most controversial food opinion. If she delays confirming, no stress. I'll keep the slot for 15 more minutes. If it doesn't lock, we'll pick another day. If she cancels twice, I'm aligned with consistency. If your schedule clears in the future, reach out. Until then, be well. Every response is a calm demonstration of standards. You're not punishing, you're pruning. Pruning is how value grows. Your grooming, style, and scent are not superficial. They're honesty. They say you care about details. Choose a personal uniform that fits your frame and simplifies your decisions. Tailored dark denim or trousers, fitted crew or Henley, clean shoes, a watch with weight. Neutral palette, high-quality basics, one signature accessory, clean nails, conditioned beard or clean shave, skin that looks cared for. Scent, sparingly. None of this is about peacocking. It's about competence. Women notice competence in the micro. A man who handles himself is a man who can handle life. When conversation dips, you don't panic. You zoom out and widen the frame. There are only 4 buckets that matter: identity, preferences, experiences, and dreams. Identity is who she believes she is. Preferences are what she enjoys. Experiences are what shaped her. Dreams are where she's going. Rotate through them. Use contrasts and specifics. Instead of generic questions, offer choices that reveal taste. City night or mountain morning, solo flight or group adventure. Build from scratch or optimize what exists. Then listen for emotion words and feed them back lightly. That's tactical empathy, Chris Voss's term, applied to attraction, not negotiation. When she says, "I hate small talk," you reply, "Good. Keep that. Tell me something that actually matters to you this year." You invite depth without interrogating. Now, a word about humor. Humor spikes dopamine and reduces threat. But you don't aim for jokes. You aim for observations. Point out the obvious in a novel way. If the line at the bar is chaos, you say, "This is a social IQ test and we're both passing." If the music is too loud, you lean in and say, "We should sue for emotional damages later." Gentle absurdity beats canned lines every time, and never punch down. Your humor should make her feel included, not targeted. Conflict is inevitable. It's also a clarifier. The man who can remain respectful under pressure earns trust. If there's a disagreement, you avoid absolute language. You own your perspective. You propose a next step. "I see it differently. Here's what I need. Here's what I can offer. What works for you?" Gottman's research on healthy dynamics shows that repair attempts are the engine of lasting connection. Make repairs fast. If you mess up, you own it cleanly. "I did X, it affected you Y, I'm going to do Z differently." No self-flagellation, no blame, just adjustment. That stability is rare, and rarity attracts. Let's embed nonverbal triggers that women register subconsciously. Slow exhale before you answer difficult questions. Micro nods while she shares. Stillness when you disagree. A small head tilt when you shift topics. Lowering your voice slightly on important sentences. Soft smile after a moment of intensity. Each of these tells her nervous system, he's here, he's safe, he's strong. Remember, attraction is not just a thought, It's a body signal. You are communicating with her amygdala as much as with her cortex. Give the body green lights. The paradox of masculine presence is this: the less you need to convince, the more convincing you become. That's why scarcity tactics without substance fail, and why calm leadership without apology wins. You will be tempted to overshare your achievements to prove your worth with data. Resist. The men who truly have it rarely talk about it. They show it in consistency, self-care, and the ease with which they walk away from misalignment. Your willingness to lose the wrong thing is the signal that attracts the right thing. Train this daily. Micro reps beat bursts. 3 practices. 1. The pause. Before you speak, insert a half-second of space. That one shift lowers your pitch, tightens your language, and increases your authority. 2. The frame statement. At the start of interactions, give one sentence that sets direction. I'm stepping out for a quick drink, then an early night. Join if you're free. 3. The boundary line. Keep a memorized sentence that protects your standards. I don't do XY works for me. The more you say it, the easier it becomes to live it. This is how you become internally referenced, not externally controlled. The fear that blocks men from grounded assertiveness is the illusion that if you set standards, you'll lose options. The opposite is true. Without standards, you attract chaos, and chaos burns time. With standards, you repel what wastes you and make space for what nourishes you. There's a reason Marcus Aurelius wrote about living according to nature. Your nature as a man wants order and direction. Create it. Your life becomes the invitation she's been waiting to accept. If you're wondering whether this behavior works only with certain women, pay attention. The details of style vary, but the structure scales. Women with high autonomy respect clear intent because they lead in their own lives and want to rest around someone who can share that load. Women with high warmth relax into presence because it makes them feel safe enough to express. Women with high intellect enjoy boundaries because they remove politics from logistics. The consistent denominator is your self-possession. It's the rarest trait in the room and everyone feels it. Let's put it all together in the simplest progression you can remember under pressure. First, you decide what's true about you before the interaction. Second, you enter with relaxed body, steady eyes, and a clear plan. Third, you reveal calibrated interest early. Fourth, you lead logistics with specificity and softness. Fifth, you play, tease behavior, and praise specifically. Sixth, you escalate ethically using green lights and check-ins. Seventh, you enforce standards without drama. Eighth, you end or continue cleanly, never lingering in uncertainty. You repeat that progression until it's your default. Your nervous system will fight new behavior. Hers will reward it. If you've listened this far, you already feel the shift. You know what to stop doing and what to start doing. Stop performing for approval. Stop explaining yourself into smaller boxes. Stop texting to manage your anxiety. Stop allowing disrespect in the name of being chill. Start leading with plans. Start revealing desire with restraint. Start saying no quickly and kindly. Start training your pauses, your posture, your tone. Start protecting your calendar as if your future depends on it, because it does. From this moment forward, measure yourself by 3 questions after every interaction. Did I stay present in my body? Did I state my intent clearly? Did I protect my boundaries calmly? If the answer is yes to all 3, you're practicing the one behavior no woman can resist. A man who knows what he's about, welcomes her energy, and refuses to abandon himself to keep it. That energy feels like leadership and freedom at the same time. That's the paradox of irresistible masculinity. So here's your immediate field drill. Today, initiate one small plan with clear time and place and a safety signal. Today, cut one message thread short with a clean invitation instead of endless chatter. Today, say one no that protects your time. Today, practice one pause before you answer a question. Today, pay one specific compliment that reveals taste. Today, end one interaction cleanly even if it was going well. Every one of those moves reinforces your new baseline. Women feel the baseline. Your baseline becomes your brand. You don't need to become louder. You need to become clearer. You don't need more tricks. You need more truth. The behavior that no woman can resist is not an act, it's alignment. Presence that calms, intent that excites, boundaries that respect. Put Put those three into your voice, your eyes, your posture, your timing, your invitations, your escalation, and your exits. Live there long enough and you'll notice something. You'll stop worrying about attraction altogether. You'll be too busy choosing it.